Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner Studios. With me today is Nikki Foster, Ray Bramwell, Ryan Jewell, and yours truly. What we're going to talk about today is the upcoming River Brews Festival. I keep calling it Blues and Blues, but I guess that's what it was in the past. So we've changed it a little bit. Nikki, tell me a little bit about what's new in the new festival.
So, Mike, as you and I have had conversations before, tourism is vitally important to our community. And we have an abundance of outdoor recreation opportunities here. And we have people who travel here all the time to take advantage of those recreational opportunities. So we decided to change the name to River Brews because, of course, one of our largest assets is the Shenandoah River.
Exactly.
So we want to capture that magic with the Shenandoah River and invite more people to come here and see what's so special about Front Royal.
Might broaden the appeal out a little bit.
Certainly. Mm-hmm.
People say blues. What is that? You know?
Yeah. Well, and it enables us, bringing up that point, it enables us also to be a little more creative with our entertainment opportunities for that as well.
Yeah, I see you brought somebody with us today.
We did, yeah.
Are you going to be the main actor for the?
I don't know the main act,
he is kicking off the festival.
Yeah.
I'm fired up. Yeah.
Ryan Jewell's with us here. He's one of our local artists.
There you go. Yeah.
Actually, a Nashville recording artist.
Well, that's always a big thing. Nashville recording artist. You know, we tried for years to get him in the studios here at National Media, but we just weren't big enough for him. He had big dreams, and they came true.
Yes, they did.
They came true.
Yes,
It's
they
great.
did.
So, you got Ray as the president of the chamber this year. Is that correct? Or?
Well, he is.
Officially a chairman, but
Well,
that's kind of the reason why I'm sitting here because we all think the business should be involved in
Sure.
the community events we have. A little bit on the tourism side, and we're really trying to parlay this the River Brews, which was a Brews and Blues, into a weekend event. And we're still working on this, so this is one of the beginning weekends of where this party is really going to open itself up. So we're something on Friday night. All day Saturday and Saturday evenings. Matter of fact, there is a. You want to talk about Saturday evening?
Well, if you want to jump the gun a little bit with that.
Okay, we'll just jump right to your part.
I was like, Lord, Saturday evening is a big CD release party for my second studio album. It's going to be over. Yeah, well,
Awesome, brother. That's awesome.
It's been a long time coming, to say the least. We started this project last October.
We know how that goes.
Yeah,
It takes a while.
So it's just been take a giant leap forward and a couple steps back.
Yep.
Wait, giant leap. So over in Hume, there's flyers around town. I'm still putting some up, various businesses and whatnot. Y'all have one here.
Sure.
I saw, which is cool.
Prominent right when you walk in. You
Right
can't
when you
miss
walk
it.
in.
But we try to help you.
Over in Hume, right up above Desert Rose Winery, 13676 Hume Road, and it starts at 6 o'clock that evening. It's open to the public. Bring your own stuff you want to drink, and there's going to be a barbecue food truck there. I'll go play some songs. I'll have all my stuff to sell, the new CD and everything. So it's going to be of course, once you come to the River and Brews Festival.
Got to do that first.
You got to do that. Start the party here, and then work your way
So,
up.
and you're playing at the festival.
I'll be at the festival, yeah.
And that says like from noon to 2:30. That's at the gazebo area.
Yes, it is at the gazebo.
Yeah, and then after that, I'll haul butt, get everything set up.
So
for
all
the party.
all the groupies can just follow you down to.
Bingo.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I didn't mean to jump the gun on you, brother.
No, you're fine.
But I think it's really amazing that we have AU here in our community and what you're going to be able to do, and that with that debut is amazing. So we're trying to wrap this thing in not just that night, but even on Sunday. So in the future, we're looking to do a golf tournament,
Right.
To couple with this to really make it, again, to help with tourism, to bring more bodies to our area. So that's the reason why the chamber, we're here representing the chamber, because we believe in all these functions where we all can network and work together. So,
Right, we need to bring in these activities, like you say, for the weekend. It helps with the hotel stays and the restaurant stays, and it just brings thousands of people to our community, and not all downtown, that they're kind of go a little bit everywhere, and it's great. I think people need to embrace, as much as we can of just the diversity of people that come to town.
Yeah.
They're not all going to be country and western hillbilly musicians, you know, but I just
Yeah, you're right.
as long as they bring their green, that's okay, right? That's what they.
Sure, and the numbers, the population that we have, you know, within very close driving distance,
Sure.
Northern Virginia, D.C., Maryland, those people, they want to come out and do so. They want to come out and visit communities like Front Royal. Yes.
People do love small towns, and they all have that dream of, you know, we live here, so we get used to it.
Absolutely.
But all we have to do is spend a couple hours in the D.C. area, right? I mean, if anybody has to drive down there, you're going to say this. Man, Front Royal's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's really funny about another one of our magnets per se is not just the mystique of the valley and what we have out here, but the median income out here is rising significantly over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And if people actually did the math on what it costs on in time,
Oh, I know.
in vehicle repair, in energy, and the loss of days and the loss of quality of life, they're going to look. They can actually look to see what we have out here for them on a year-round basis and what this community brings. You know, this community, we were 35,000 strong back about 5 or 6 years ago, and we're just about to tip 40,000 in this community, another 80,000 if you go into Frederick County.
Sure.
So we are our own entity within itself. You know, one of my goals when I came out here was, you know, I used to work in the city. I didn't know that Haymarket was called a city, but evidently it's called a city.
It is now.
Since
It is now.
So I've officially been out here for 15 plus years. You know, it's kind of funny. You're 16
Thank
or
goodness.
whatever the math. Thank you for that. But the reality is that it's a great community. It's grown, and you know, one of my goals was never to go over that Markham Mountain. You know, because one of the contractors said, "Well, I don't go over to Markham Mountain." I was like, "Well, that's amazing." You know, of course, I was still going to the city
Sure.
back then, but the median income has risen out here. All the things we got in this community is absolutely a plus for anybody. The lifestyle, the school systems,
Yes.
we got all the infrastructure here that they put time and hard time in. You know, we can't say enough about where this community is going from where it was and where it will be. So.
Well, you know, and festivals like this bring people out here, and they say, hey, we could retire out here, or we could
Yes.
move out here, and people start looking at it, and they get that lifestyle they want. I tell people, employees, you know, when you're looking to hire, they're driving, and I'm going to get that big money in the city. I said, if the government gives you 54 cents a mile, you can tell they're cheating you, and probably, right? I mean, so just figure 54 cents a mile.
Right on.
Yeah.
To Haymarket, Chantilly area, you're talking $250 a week just in mileage.
I
Certainly.
think was
That's $1,000 a month, and that doesn't count your
44
time.
down there. So this
It
is
is.
Yeah.
this is 6, so that's 38. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of money that
That's
people
just-
don't, really get into.
That's
so.
just Prince William County, that exit 44.
Sorry,
I
yeah,
think.
absolutely.
So not even further in. So.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So we love it. You know, we're all here. Of course, everybody else stay away because we got ours. You know, right? Not in my backyard, right?
Right.
But no, we want it. Come on out. We got plenty of room for everybody.
Yeah, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And we've got plenty. I mean, Ryan is an example of that. You know, he could be living in Nashville,
Sure.
but he comes home. And I think there's a reason for that. When I go on vacation, I forget, but then I drive in from the beach or wherever, and I'm like, oh my
like you never
goodness.
left, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's not only that, but just the beauty when you're away from it for just a little bit of time is striking.
I know, and
Yeah.
I traveled for a lot of years all over the world, and as soon as I come over the hill, the Markham Mountain, what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
You all of a sudden, man, I'm glad to be home.
It's a sigh of relief.
It is. It is. I mean,
It really is.
Yes.
what they say. A lot of people chase that green grass.
Yeah.
And that's all. But you know what? All you got to do is water what you have, and it'll be green.
I love that statement.
Yeah,
Home
you
sweet
like
that?
home.
Home sweet home. Let's go back to the festival again. We're talking about how great Front Royal is. Now, this thing kicks off on Friday night.
Well,
Well,
actually,
we're going to do something on Friday.
yeah, we've got a few things. Bushel Pub's going to have some specials, things like that.
And
but
that's at the Apple House.
that's at the Apple House, yes.
Right.
And if you haven't been there, absolutely check those
You've done
guys
a great
out.
job.
Yes, they have. And so on Saturday is the main event from
Right.
noon until 6
Okay.
downtown at the gazebo.
Okay.
Ryan, again, kicks off the festival.
Okay.
There's going to be something for everybody. So now, of course, yes, the main focus of this event is beer.
Right.
The beer industry in Virginia is huge.
Sure.
Locally, locally it's huge. We've
Right.
got, you know, the
The
great
breweries and
Yes.
wineries are kicking off everywhere.
Yes, Front Royal Brewing Company is our local, and Backroom Brewery
Sure.
our local, and those guys both are award winning. So
Right.
you know, if you haven't checked them out, certainly do that. They will be on hand for this festival. Virginia Eagle helps us out with bringing in tons of other breweries. The vast majority of the 60 varieties of beer that we'll have are from Virginia. We
Okay.
try to do as much focus on Virginia as we can.
So how do you control all the beer sampling on, you know, I noticed because there's a flat fee to come in,
Yes.
$25 in advance, I understand.
And those are that's for beer tasting.
Beer
so
tasting.
folks who are
So you
coming
carry
in,
a little beer mug on the chin.
yeah, you get a sample, but you'll also have an armband.
Okay.
Now, the folks, I think it's really important, the folks who aren't coming to drink, or who are coming to listen to Ryan, or, you know, check out the food vendors, that sort of stuff, there's no charge for those folks.
All
There's
right.
only a charge if you're drinking.
So when you're walking in and you see that $25, don't panic.
Right. It doesn't, if you're coming to just listen to Ryan, you come on in, we want you to come and enjoy what we have going on.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
it. So it makes it a good community event, and it's controlled for people that aren't into the drinking. There's plenty of other things to do.
Certainly,
and it's
yeah.
controlled with the. It's just a sampling. It's not a.
Yes.
It's not a beer joint on wheels. You
Right.
Know?
Well,
That's
and we
right.
encourage folks, you know, to come to the festival, but also to stroll downtown, stroll
Sure.
Main Street. You know, there's all sorts of things going on. There's the theater, there's the brewery, there's tons of restaurants, there's great little shops. It's not just about, you know, it's not just about one thing. It's about the whole package.
It is.
Now, the $25 is in advance, so I encourage people to go online to riverandbrewsfestival.com, get your tickets now. You have the $25 option, which is a souvenir glass and 10 tasting tickets.
Okay.
And then you can also purchase more tasting tickets if you desire.
Okay.
But there's also a VIP option. And
Always a VIP.
There
option.
is.
Well,
And-
They love the
Sure.
VIPs, don't they?
but the VIP option, there's only 100 tickets, and they are not available at the gate. They're only available right now in advance
Okay.
online. Those tickets are $65, but they include unlimited tasting, a T-shirt, and then of course the souvenir glass and that
No
sort of stuff.
backstage passes to get pictures with Ryan.
You know, here's
are
the thing.
free.
Oh, those are free.
I've been I've been to a couple of Ryan's performances at other places, and before long he's going to need security.
Yes.
He has a huge following, so
I've
yeah.
often thought about that sometimes.
Seriously,
People are crazy sometimes. You got to watch it.
but we do, yeah. There's again tons of things going on. Get your tickets in advance, save a little bit of money, and then I think we should talk about the second act. Ryan is our first act.
Right. Right.
I want to say one thing about Ryan's
Yeah,
act.
you go right
First
ahead.
come, first serve. So the front of the line is
Oh, yeah.
is open. I want to go back to the VIP tickets. There's only a few available, so please reserve those because when they're out, they're out. And we're recording this almost 2 weeks out. So by the time this airs and hits the paper, there may not be any VIP tickets left, but I'd say there probably should at least be about 10 or 15. So I'd go ahead and
Yeah,
get your tickets.
absolutely.
Right. Don't hesitate.
Yeah, we're about 60% sold out of those tickets right now.
Okay.
So.
And it really starts to pick up as we get closer
Yes.
to it.
And the date we're talking about is September 21st.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's a Saturday. All
It
right.
is.
Let's get back to Ryan here again.
All righty.
We're gonna milk this as much as we can. Is this
Why
all
not?
right?
I'm here, right?
That's right. all these tween girls that just
Yeah,
love you. You
yeah.
know, hey, they grow up.
Oh no.
They grow up.
It's all
No,
ages.
Mike.
It's
Mike,
all
it
ages.
is
all
it
ages.
is all ages.
Yeah, them 60, those 80-year-old grandmas. They're at the front row. You know.
You'd be
Uh-huh.
surprised.
Yeah.
And they're up dancing and they're singing along and requesting my songs that I've written.
Sure.
That's probably the coolest thing.
Yeah. When
Going
someone
out.
knows the lyrics
They
to your
know
song,
exactly.
it is great when
Yeah.
you see people out there mouthing your songs
It's
that you
very
wrote. It is give
Yeah.
me goosebumps
Exactly.
thinking about
Yeah.
it. Right?
Sing along. Yeah.
It's great. So tell us about the second act.
The second act is the Reflex.
So Ryan is warming up for them. Is that what it is?
I'm getting
No.
I'm
No,
setting
not
the
actually.
mood.
Oh,
No,
so, okay.
no.
All right.
And it's two very different
Yes.
kinds of acts. So they're not one's not better than the other.
Okay.
So
All
the
right.
Reflex is an '80s band.
Oh, okay.
And they're very, very popular in the region, up and down the valley. And they're very energetic. They're going to sing songs that harken back to the days of your childhood
Sure.
and the 80s and
That would
lots
be the
of fun.
50s for us, right?
Bring your hair. Right?
Yeah.
Bring your
Yeah,
hair.
bring
Not a
your
hair.
hair.
I was going to say, as soon as you said 80 bands,
Yeah.
I'm thinking hair band.
Well, no, they're doing more of like all of the
Yeah.
it's not the heavy
Okay.
metal hair bands,
Right, right.
but lots of the popular music. And I've watched several videos on YouTube about it, and
Yeah.
they're terrific. So people come out, have
That's
a good.
great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I read, when did Pink Floyd became elevator music? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
We went to the Kicks concert the other night, and it's funny to watch forgive me, men with no hair banging their head. What are you guys doing? Your hair's not moving.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But these are the kind of festivals that the chamber puts on.
We do.
About 4 a year, I believe. And
Well, so we have two major festivals: the Virginia Wine and Craft Festival, and then of course the River Brews Festival.
Right.
And we're we're always looking at other options and discussing what can be next with because the goal is again to bring people into the community, let them see how great it is, and then have them return. We want people to come back and visit, and like you said, retire here if you want
well,
to.
there's a lot of people that have done that. When you talk to people, I mean, we see a lot, coming in and they've been here maybe for 2 or 3 or 4 years, but they came here totally strange ways. I mean,
Sure.
there wasn't any one particular way.
Sure.
Normally you think, well, their family's here and they moved here, but no, some of them just came for a drive and liked what they saw and decided, I like it.
Well, and I think it's really hard sometimes for people or for us to quantify, how important that tourism dollar is.
Sure.
And to really describe that. But there's some big significance in the tourism dollars and having people come in, whether it's purchasing gas, buying lunch, whatever it is. And that's what these people do.
You mentioned about the incomes rising. Of course, people are watching, well, my income hasn't rose. But, when you look at the large picture,
Certainly.
I remember talking to some of our financial advisor type people in town. I said, why are you hiring another person? He said, there's a lot of money in Warren County. And look at the banks we have. I mean, why would you think you need, 72 banks? There's a lot of money in Warren County. And again, we might not know where it is, but it's here. And it's been here a long time. And it's starting to loosen up. And you're starting to see people investing in the community.
Sure.
Even though we do have some empty buildings around. But when you start going back and looking at the type of new things we have, it's things that will have long-term growth, long-term
Certainly.
jobs, and some of the newer, things are moving up.
Yeah, I agree. I think, we're in a time of prosperity. It may, there's a couple of dark clouds hanging over, but I think those are going to break things open, and we're going to see.
And you're hearing the talk of of new homes being built or development, and so every time that happens, that's kind of like the beginning of.
Yes.
And that turns into be a 10 or 15 year. People think, well, that's overnight. No, that's a 10 to 15 year project.
Certainly.
And and they're talking again about it. So that means the demand is coming back. So we could easily, and we've got our infrastructure, and we got festivals.
Right.
We've got the chamber. We've got businesses. We've got Nashville recording artists.
That's right.
We got
Got it all.
We have it all.
I mean, the Appaloosa.
We got a baseball team.
That's right. We got a baseball team. I mean, Appaloosa Music Festival brought in 35 bands from all over the country.
Exactly.
That was
and,
amazing.
And
to see
people
that.
were,
Yeah.
the crowds were just everywhere. And, music draws people to,
Yes, it does.
and we appreciate people like Ryan that
Yeah.
don't forget about their hometown.
And that's a great point because Scythian, who the
They're
guys from
another
Scythian,
homebrew-
they're a homegrown band as well, and they're known all over the world.
Right.
So our assets are
You need
tremendous.
to get hooked in with them because they could take you to Ireland and
And I'd be okay
Yeah.
with that.
And we have the franchisee of the year
That's right.
for
That's
the
all
neighborly companies
Yeah,
here with us
thank
too.
you.
if you go back on the Royal Examiner and just Google Ray, you'll see him in his tuxedo with his lovely wife, and
I'm pretty sure that was a
Son.
glamour shot. That really wasn't me.
it was really good.
Thank you.
It was really good.
Going back to the people coming here, I was just thinking about all the people that came to Appaloosa.
Right.
That we just have a new hotel open up here.
Right.
And it's funny that people with money make really good decisions typically, and they wouldn't be putting that hotel here if the people weren't coming here. So that's another sign that how
Right.
much we're
That's
growing.
long.
Agreed.
That's not
Short
instant-
term.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's long-term
That's-
vision.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a long. That's a 50-year plan with
Exactly.
that hotel.
Right.
And what's funny is that talking about the construction industry and what fuels things, the commercial industry has always led the residential industry, and we're not seeing the commercial industry slow down at all. We're seeing the new properties going up in Winchester, new properties going here. The properties are expanding. The hotels here. We're gonna have the homes. And Warren County it's just been waiting to explode, and it has. People that may live here may not see it as well.
Right.
But if you were looking at it from the outside in, you can see that there's true, good, solid growth, and all the fundamentals are here for this community to prosper for many years to come. I know it's been, again, you talked about the Great Cloud. You know, I'm telling you that the people that have been leading this county have done a lot of good things for this county. I know there's some stuff that's got to get ironed out, and not all those people that are in those positions have been what they have been portrayed as. You know, and I can't wait till all that truth comes out.
Right.
Let the chips fall where they may, but this community is going to keep going forward. We're going to
Yes.
keep growing. We're going to get through all this nonsense, and it's going to be a better place even for everybody all the way around. You know, we don't even sit here and talk about, I know we're here to talk about River Brews, and I don't mean on a soapbox, but all the many things that people do in this community, from CCAP to, you know, to Goodwill, to whomever, you know, all these people.
And the Royal Examiner.
Exactly, the Meals on Wheels, you
United
name
Way.
it, you know.
All,
Yes.
yeah,
United
all
Way.
of
All
those.
works together.
And there's a lot of people behind the scenes that do not get all, that don't get all this publicity. I mean,
Right.
you do a great job of promoting those people that are doing the good things, Mike. I got to hand it to you on that. You know, of course, you've talked about the things that are obvious that people want to hear right away, but I'd say there's probably 95% more good going on than any of that
Exactly.
negativity. That 5% negative stain. You know, it's the reason why we created laws in the first place.
Exactly.
Was to eradicate the stain, but they get the most attention. But the really should get a lot of attention is all the promoting of all these people
Right.
that are doing great. You know, all these businesses that are doing well, and all the prosperity that's going on.
Right.
Toward, you know,
Well, you know, like we published one story on our EDA, but don't realize there's 4 or 5 other stories posted the same day about here's something the Rotary did, here's something that the Chamber did, and the
Sure.
Like even
Board
one
of
of our
Heritage Society, everything. There's a lot of stuff.
Even one of our own board members, Katie Toole, just got appointed to the board of
That
directors.
was posted to the
for
Royal
Rand-
Examiner.
I read that this morning, but I mean, do you know that that's going to get, you know, 10% of your readership? Because, you know, for some
Sure.
reason, we're ingrained from birth, from the
Sure.
first time a caveman picked up a club, hit the other cat on the head.
That
and
bleeds,
said,
it
"I want-
leads,"
I-
you know.
you know, if it just for some reason, and we gotta, you know, we gotta tater those and see those, but I really that, you know, light overcomes darkness 24/7,
Sure.
365, and so that's where this community is. in my
Well, you know,
opinion.
and we're going to talk. Like I said, we're going to get back to the festival here because that's a symbol of the growth in our community.
Sure.
People will still come here, and I was talking to mentioned something when I was talking to Doug Parsons, our EDA director. You know, he said, yes, we have these problems. We're going to work it out. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. But he said, I just met with 6 people this morning. They didn't even bring it up. They're
Right.
still going to bring their businesses to Front Royal
Absolutely.
because they see the potential and the growth, and they want to get in on it. So he said, yes, it's important that we do all this, and we will do it. But you know, we think, oh, you know, gloom and doom. But people from the outside,
Sure.
they're not engaged into that. And
Well, and I think a message, you know, for the folks who are listening to this, and we've had a discussion at the board level, is that we have a responsibility to spread the good too. So when you're thinking about saying things on social media and you're getting on those social media pages and things like that, look for the good and start sharing the good. Start sharing the awesome things that are happening here. And the more we do that, the better things become.
well, you mentioned that some of the stories we write, like we did the Kids for Hunger thing, and we did these Rotary things.
Sure.
It's amazing. They actually have more social interaction than crime, and you know, you always get that
Right.
initial. But when you go back and look at the analytics of the thing, they draw the most people over the longest period of time.
Sure they
It's
do.
amazing. So people really do
Sure they do.
want to find out about their community, and they love it. But we have the best thing going. We have 3 things in real estate: location,
Yes, we do.
and festivals.
location.
yeah, we was it. We got to segue back to festivals. So it's
Yes.
September. Excuse me.
September 21st, Saturday, September 21st.
Right.
Downtown, focused mainly at the gazebo area, a little bit of Chester Street as well.
Right.
Main Street will be open.
Okay.
As we have done in previous
Okay,
years.
that's great.
And so folks are welcome to come down and, you know, do your normal business on Main Street and then come visit us.
That's right. It's all going on at the gazebo on the 21st. Starts around at noon. Yours truly will be there. Ryan Jewel. You're a jewel, Ryan, I tell you.
Hey,
Hey, listen to that. Is that a baritone voice they call that? What do they call that? Come on,
It's
tell us.
right. It's right on the brink of bass and baritone.
Okay, you go to even. So, that's great.
Yeah.
So anyway, my voice always drops 4 or 5 octaves when I get a cold. So anyway, I always think of that guy. What was that guy name on Laugh? You know, Gary. What was that guy's name? The announcer that always held his name. That was our time. Come on now, you remember that. Anyway, we'll remember it.
Asked me something last week. Oh, can't remember that either.
Well, it's great to have you guys in, and of course, if you have an activity or an event or a festival you want to promote, the Royal Examiner is here to help you do it. We'll even help guys like Ryan to help promote things that he's doing. And we really, seriously, we do appreciate all the things you do for the community, and it'll all come back in the long run. You know,
if I get a return on it or not, I don't.
Well, you will.
I still appreciate all the support that the community has given me over the years too.
Sure, it's not just a one thing. Well, you know, I always tell people even the Lone Ranger had Tonto.
There you go.
So you can't do things by yourself.
No.
You have to have. There's always somebody helping you do it, and we're glad to be able to help you.
Thank you
Again,
very
Nikki
much.
and Ray and Ryan, we really appreciate you coming into the Royal Examiner, and don't forget, it's September 21st at noon at the gazebo.
Thank you.